You weren't meant to carry it all. You were just told that you had to. From the outside, it probably looks like you have it all together. You're the one everybody counts on at work, at home, and in your you've made it, and yet you're absolutely tired, like, down on the inside, tired. You wonder, if I stop performing, will I still be seen? Will I still be enough? Here's the truth that I wish more of us had heard. You don't have to be Superwoman to be successful. And today, I wanna talk to the part of you that's craving rest, craving ease, craving space to be fully you without the cape. So let me tell you about Brandy, a client of mine. She was the only Black woman on her executive team. Brilliant, strategic, respected. But every day she showed up with her cape on, fixing, leading, mentoring, managing everything and everyone. She said something that was profound for me to hear. I spent so much time proving myself, I don't even know who I am anymore without the grind. That hit me really deep because I've been there too. I was a single parent to 3 teenage girls. I know, I know, 3, yes, 3, all at the same time, yes, 3. Working a full-time job, and at the time, I only had 1 business, but I was running a business on the side and earning a PhD all together, wearing my cape, smiling through exhaustion, measuring my worth by how much I could carry, and carry without help 'cause I wasn't gonna ask somebody for no help now. "I got this, I got this, I don't need you to help." "Nope, I got it all, I can do it all, I'm good." But the thing is that's not leadership, that's survival, and you were not born to survive success, you were actually born to live in it. So, let's get honest about the superwoman complex. So many of us just raised to be twice as good. Never let them see you sweat. Carry the emotional labor without complaint, without looking like you're struggling. And we inherited this from strong women who survived a lot just with very little support. They came through a lot, they survived a lot, they lived with a lot, and they didn't really ask for help. And while that legacy, it gives us resilience, it also gave us burnout because somewhere along the way, success got tangled up with suffering. And we started believing, if I'm not doing it all, I'm not doing enough. If I'm not working hard, I'm not working enough. But I need you to hear this clear. You don't have to wear yourself out to prove that you have worth, that you have value. You deserve rest and you deserve support. You also deserve a version of success that includes you. And that's not you standing on the outside looking in, but it includes you. So let's talk about for a few moments. Let's talk about what letting go of the key really looks like. Because this isn't about giving up, it's about coming home to yourself. So number one, start by asking, what am I no longer available for? Instead of what more can I take on? Ask, what am I done carrying? I'm finished. I'm through. It's done. Maybe it's overscheduling. You know, I stopped working on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And I do. I have clients that's like, "I'm only available," there's we're doing a consultation and say, "Well, I'm only available on Fridays." They have to find another coach because I don't work on Fridays anymore, and I don't work on Saturdays, and I don't work on Sundays, right? And you know what? When I finally came into that, I said, "Okay, this is my business. I work Mondays through Thursdays." And you know what? You know what happened? My business didn't fail. Or maybe it's you letting go of perfectionism, right? Maybe that's the one thing you need to let go. And I've had to do that, and it's owning now I own 2 businesses, and, it's humbling. Perfectionism had to go. It had to hit the door and go, right? I own JVC Counseling and Consulting. That's my private practice counseling. In that business, I'm just Twanna Carter, not Dr. Carter. I'm only Dr. Carter in my coaching practice for executive like Twanna Carter professional and personal coaching. And perfectionism had to go because I could not figure out. Maybe someone else did. I know I couldn't figure out how to be perfect and do run both of my businesses perfectly, I couldn't do it. So that's the one thing for me. Perfectionism had to go, right? Because I couldn't afford to spend the weeks and months beating myself up because I didn't do something perfect. So yeah, that was one of the first things that had to go, right? It's a learning process, but it had to go. And for you, maybe it's pretending, because this is a bigger for me, pretending to be okay when you're not really okay. When you tired, when you can't see straight, or when you're giving somebody the side eye stink eye 'cause you really don't like them, just maybe it's stop pretending I'm okay, and I got it all, and I can carry all the stuff on my plate, and I don't need your help because I can do it all. Maybe it's time to stop pretending. You know, write this down, write it down, say it out loud, make it real. The research says that when you write a goal, you're way more apt to accomplish the goal when you write it down. You know, I mean, I used to work 7 days a week. I had a full-time, had a W-2 job. I was running both of my businesses, and then it started managing me out, and I was like, I'm done with this. So, I started working in my businesses full-time, and I worked 7 days a week, and before I came to myself, like, "How you gonna be the business owner and not have a day off? What kind of sense does that make?" So then I was like, "Well, I never liked Fridays anyway, so I'm not working on Fridays." And then that wasn't enough, and I said, "Okay, well, Sundays are out because I don't wanna rush from my church service trying to get to a client and see a client." So I did that for maybe 8 or 9 months, and I was like, "You know what? You own yourself, do your own work schedule, but you don't have 2 consecutive days off." So, I did a trip to I spent a month in Costa Rica where I was traveling with, my sister and a friend, and I was like, "I ain't gonna be working on Saturday and they having fun on Saturday." So I told my clients, "Hey, I'm not doing Saturday. I'm not gonna be here for about a month because 'cause I'm in Costa Rica." And I only lost 1 client, and that was only because she got a job and she could no longer, she could only meet on Saturdays. But that was my tipping point. So sometimes you gotta write the goals down because I used to like, I don't wanna work, I don't wanna do this, I don't wanna do that. Write it down and make it real once it hits that paper. Now, number 2, reclaim boundaries that protect your peace because you don't have to be in every single meeting. You don't have to reply to every email within 1 to 5 minutes of the email hitting your box. And you don't have to say yes to everything just because someone asks you to. And then one of my personal boundaries, I'm one of my mostest favorite is again, I don't do Friday meetings. I don't meet with clients on Friday. That's my space to breathe, reset, and honor my energy. I will see my coach. I will get help from my coaches, but I do not see clients on that day. It's the day I see my doctors. So I'm taking care of me. Right. And because one of the things that I've learned is boundaries don't limit your power, but they protect it and they protect your mental health. They protect your peace. And then number 3, redefine what success looks like for you now. Because at first, that first year or so when I had my businesses, they were managing me out of the federal government. And I just like, you know what? I worked my leave out, got paid, and then I left. So success for me, about 8, 10 months in was just the fact that I was working for myself and I was paying myself. Like every Friday, I paid myself. I didn't have to wait for someone else to pay me. So that was success out of the gate. And it started to change. Like, why am I working 7 days a week? Seriously? So success just isn't about promotions or metrics or visibility. It's about alignment, right? Ask yourself, does my success allow me to rest? Does it allow me to be a human being? Does it feel like my success, or is it someone else's definition? And I'll be real with you. I did not let go of my cape willingly. I'm gonna say that up front. I did not. Because I wore it like a badge of honor again until my body started sending me warning signs. Right? Again, it's like high blood pressure, anxiety, and sleep issues. I was showing up for everybody else except for me. And so when I finally paused and realized something powerful, I didn't have to be everything to be enough. And neither do you. Right? And since then, I've coached women just like you, brilliant, capable, and tired through this same shift. And what they discovered is that freedom starts when the cape comes off. So let me ask you, what would it feel like to lead with ease? To stop performing strength and start living from wholeness? What does that feel like? What would it feel like? So, this is your invitation. In the comments, tell me, what's one thing you're letting go of this week? Let's name it. Let's claim it. Let's normalize it. Let's unlearn busyness together. And if this message spoke to you, then subscribe because you deserve to live better. In the next video, we're diving into you feel empty at work, but everyone needs you. Until then, sis, let the cape go. You're not Superwoman. You're something even more powerful, yourself. Thanks for watching. Ready to turn today's clarity into real progress? I'd love to support you. Click the link in the descriptions to connect. I'm Dr. Twanna, an executive coach for Black women, and I'll see you in the next one.